Yeah. All right. So, welcome everyone. So, I am going to get started. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So, welcome everybody to our weekly Ladies of Sound community chats. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. That's what we do. We are so excited today. We have some amazing special guests that are joining us. Before we get started, you guys already know you got to go through it every week, but the house rules, please make sure you guys are on mute when you are not speaking. That way, if there's any background noise, it will pick up your speaker. So, let's make sure that it stays on mute. And please send all your questions in the chat room. We will try to answer them all. And remember, at the end, we have a Q&A portion towards the end of our chat. And you guys will, send your questions in the chat room, and we'll get to them and our special guests as well. So, next. All right. So, oops, I hear myself. Do you guys hear that? Sorry about that. So again, the community chats, it's a way for us to connect with our community online, space for meeting other people, sharing stories, knowledge, tips, and tricks. All right. So your community chat hosts, myself, Maricel, and Sammy G.
Hello.
Ladies of Sound. And we are so excited to introduce our guests today.
Yep.
We have DJ TiffStarr and Kaotic Blaze. Hosts of Meeting in the Ladies Room. So we're so excited for you guys to meet them. If you guys haven't, checked that out, what Meeting in the Ladies Room is, you're going to find out today. And then you guys will have something else to watch besides coming into our chat room every day. So if you guys see here, these dope pictures are obviously TiffStarr, Tiffany, and Margie, Kaotic Blaze. So if you guys, please, you are unmuted. Introduce yourselves. Let's start off with you, Margie. Margie, I really love this fly photo of you in this Adidas outfit. Can you give us a little bit more background? Please introduce yourself to our community.
Hello, everyone. I am DJ Kaotic Blaze, also known as Blaze, sometimes called Margie. I'm a DJ now, but I actually started as a B-girl when I was 16. I'm now 36, going on 37, and I made the transition into DJing a little over 10 years ago. And along with TiffStarr, we host our show, Meeting in the Ladies Room.
Awesome. Thank you, Margie. Next up, we have Tiffany, DJ TiffStarr. Please, Tiffany, tell us a little bit about yourself and say hello to our community.
What's up, guys? My name is DJ TiffStarr. I first started actually dancing in like the commercial world. So started back in high school, then moved to LA because I lived like inland. And I moved to LA, started dancing, then decided to move to New York. I lived in New York for 10 years. I was dancing. And while I was in New York, that's when I really started getting into the breaking scene. My husband is also a B-boy. So we share that. And that's where I met Blaze. We used to battle each other. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? Oh, did you really?
No, but we used to be at like the same events. We were in the same scene. So we used to just always see each other. It was more of like an acquaintance thing until like we actually just started like connecting. And then I started DJing while I was in New York. It's been 6 years now. I actually went to the Scratch Academy in New York City. And that's where I got my start. I had turntables before, but I was just like messing around on them until I decided to become serious about it. So that's where I got started. And now I'm back in LA and I have a family.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm here now and we got our show together.
Nice.
Oh,
You
so
guys
okay.
both met in New York, right? And so did you guys kind of come around to LA around the same time, was it? Or how did you reconnect? Or
Yeah, how did you guys meet? Because let me bring that back up again. You guys obviously started as B girls. You know, is that where you guys met? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we definitely met back in New York. We were both breaking at the time. In New York, in the breaking scene in general, although it is pretty large as a scene, it is small at the same time. So you tend to kind of know everyone in the community. So I definitely got to know her and her husband, Oscar, just by all the events and all the parties that were in New York. And then also, I'm a part of a collective called Hard Body. It's a group of women. And at the time, I wasn't DJing, but I was mostly an event promoter. And my colleague, one of my colleagues, she was a DJ. So we would host events all the time, and both Tiff and Oscar would come through and always support. And that's really how we met. And then we got closer because one of my good friends, Sick, was closer with them and actually was invited to their house. And it kind of like sparked a good friendship. And once, I don't know if I moved out here first.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, yeah. So then I heard that Tiff and Oscar were moving, and I'm like, yeah, more people from New York that are actually going to be around here, because moving from the East Coast to the West Coast was definitely a big transition for me, especially not having the I guess network of friends like I did back home. So it was kind of refreshing to hear that someone from back east was moving to LA.
What got you guys, if you don't mind me asking, what got you guys into you know, the dance world, to, you know, to being a B girl? How Tiff and Margie, can you guys, you know, tell us, when did you guys actually start?
So for me, I actually started probably now 10 years ago. Um, I was introduced to it by just like family. Like my brother used to break back in the day, and then he kind of stopped. And then one of my good friends started to break. So I just kind of like was always being like reintroduced to it until when I went to New York to go visit one of my friends. That's when I went to one of like the practice spots over there. And that's actually where I met my husband. And that's where it actually really sparked for me. And then I just started going from there. Like it was more of like community and just like, I don't know, it was one of those things like once I got into it, it just like, you know,
Like-
when you get that big hug,
Yeah.
like that's how it was. Like it just took me, and like now it's just part of my life. Like, you know, like that whole scene, hip hop in general, like, yeah.
Dope. Margie, what about you? When did you start?
I mean, I've always been a hip hop head. My dad used to DJ back in the 80s, and I was always into hip hop music, but I was a straight up tomboy. My passion before dance or anything was playing basketball. So once I was in high school and in I think 10th grade, we had a I guess like a fashion show. And I was also a social dancer. Like any social dance that was out at the time, like I did it and I knew it. And everybody's like, oh, she's killing it, whatever. But somebody saw me dance house music, which is also very popular in the late 80s, early 90s in New York. And they were like, oh, you should try breaking. And I'm like, break dance? I don't know how to flip. Like that's the first kind of thought I had about breaking in my mind, that you had to learn how to flip. But anyway, from there, I started going to different practices and kind of really immersing myself in the culture. And from there, from 16 years old, I was hooked.
I mean, look at that headstand though. um And Tiff, I love that photo. that photo to the top left, where is that? What event is that?
That's actually in Queens. It's at 5 Points. It unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. It was an abandoned warehouse that the whole thing from top to bottom was just covered in graffiti. And and unfortunately it doesn't exist anymore. So that's why I really chose that picture, because it's pretty special to me. And I was battling that girl right there in the green.
Oh, that's so tight. That is so tight.
I can't wait. Yeah, that's so amazing, because I actually was very fortunate to have visited 5 Points before they, before it disappeared. But it was really, really magical being there. That's how I felt. I was like surrounded by just so much. I know there's just so much history and so many things that went down there, and it was really sad to see it go. And that's an awesome memory to have, and an amazing picture to have, for you to look back on. Margie, that headstand though, tell me, that's you in the pink, right? I can't tell, it's upside down.
Yeah.
And so putting in those years as a dancer, where did that lead to for you? I'm gonna go ahead to the next slide.
Yeah, definitely the opportunity to travel, to battle in Portugal, to do commercials like the 2009 BET Awards promo. But for me, besides it taking me to those like great places, which are great for, I guess, a resume to really brag about, but it was really the camaraderie I had with my crewmates at the time, because those are like family. So in New York, especially, you could definitely, when you see another B girl or B boy, you could tell off the bat by the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they dress. It's just like something about them, but also meeting other people within hip hop culture that had the same passion and drive, that kind of spread out to all the elements, including DJing. But yeah, breaking is still, even though I don't break anymore, it's still a big part of my identity.
Wow. And
Same.
yeah, I'm loving this picture that in the next slide that we're on. Ladies of Hip Hop Festival. You guys got to tell me about that.
So annually in New York, we have Michelle. She's actually the founder. She's from, she started the festival, I want to say 15, 16 years ago in Philadelphia, where she's from, but it's basically a celebration of women in hip hop culture. There's a combination of showcases and workshops. And then the day that Tiff and I are really a part of is the battle, which we typically have 5 different categories: house, breaking, hip hop, popping, whacking. They kind of dance hall. We've even had one year. We kind of switch it around. And the whole event is organized by women. All the dancers battling are women. All the volunteers that are helping with the event are women. So it's just really a unified event celebrating women. I've been a part of it since 2014, I believe. And then Tiff jumped on a couple years later, but it's dope to kind of be a part of that. It's work. Like I was telling you guys the other day, it's literally a 12-hour day when we're there, just of 12 hours of rocking, just fire music for the dancers, because you have hundreds of girls battling and they're battling different categories. So your knowledge and your crates got to be on point when it comes to all these different music types. That's just, it's annually. We've done it in LA. We've done it in Toronto. They've done it in China, and I believe Eastern European country as well. But yeah, that's Ladies of Hip Hop Festival.
Wow.
And yeah, I totally feel you. Like, you have to be on point for DJing that kind of crowd, because even just DJing for just a crew where there are actual dancers at, you cannot mess up when
No,
there's actual dancers
you'll get this
in the
look.
place. Yeah, because as soon as you're off beat, they'll know it automatically. Obviously, you know, when it's like a regular crowd, they don't really pay attention that much. But when you have dancers, oh man, it gets a little nerve wracking because you're like, I can't be off beat even by a little bit. You know what I mean? They'll notice it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
or when the energy changes, you have to make sure the energy is all the same or higher, right? So that's really, really cool. And I'm sure it all worked out for you guys because you were in both worlds at that point, right? So
Yeah, how was
I
that
actually,
transition?
well, the year before this, so this was my first year DJing, that was 2016. But the year before, 2015, I actually entered the B-Girl battle. So I was part of that, you know, the other side before, and I was already DJing until, I think it was Nene. She has like the overalls. She actually put me on to Ladies of Hip Hop to be a DJ.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've seen both sides.
So yeah, like I love like that Sam can give that perspective as a DJ. How was it for the both of you who were dancers and then now you're behind the turntables? What was that like to be in both worlds? Is I think that's really unique, you know, to meet you know, women like you guys, because it's you know, there some people I've met are just dancers or they're just DJs, but to be both, I think that's so awesome. What is that like?
So hip hop.
Exactly.
For me, it was like, it was, I had a moment, I forgot when it was, but it was like a New Year's event that I did. And a bunch of dancers there. It was like a dancer party. There's a lot of those in New York, like all like the dancers just all meet up at one place and, you know, everybody gets busy. But it was a New Year's event. And after I finished my set, everybody like stopped and everybody just started clapping and cheering for me. And I was just like I didn't expect that. It was one of those things that it was like, it took me. And then I was like I had that wow moment. Like, man, I love this so much that it was like, I remember being on the other side and being like, yes, like pointing at the DJ and like, you know, feeling that feeling. But to be on the other side and make all these people feel that way, it's a priceless feeling. It really is.
What about for you, Margie?
Yeah, as a dancer, especially, you know, depending, I guess, on the type of dancer you are, like having that musicality, which is the type of dancer I think I am, like really hitting these certain nuances and beats. You gotta know music, and I think that's what kind of helped me transition. And then also I got injured. That's what really kind of sparked it for me, because I was at one of my parties that I promote. My homegirl was DJing and she was always inspiring me as well. I was like, damn, she's doing it. She's killing it. And she was also a B girl. I'm like, damn, I need to like save my money and stop playing games and get my turntables and everything together. But at that party, I did some stupid move. I got on the floor and I got hurt. And then once I got up, I felt it and I was limping. And then I kind of used that moment to then get in the lab and connect with, and fortunately too, because I was a B girl and hosting events and doing events and stuff, I already knew so many dope DJs that I could just reach out to, and they were excited as well. They were like, what, you want to learn? Let's go. Like, I can show you this and that, which was great for me because I was able to get opportunities, because I would just ask promoters like, hey, you need somebody to open? 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 And that's really how I got my start really early, just doing all these gigs for free just to get that experience in spinning in front of a crowd. So, and like Tiff had mentioned, as a dancer, and then once you connect with the audience, you have that exchange of energy and you're kind of leading the room, and you have that freedom to drop a gem that maybe they don't know about, or do a blend that they didn't expect, and you get that reaction from a dancer. That is worth that little moment in time. That's like it's like a drug almost. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
No, I love watching that kind of energy. That's something that as a spectator, I don't dance, I don't DJ, but I'm just like, oh hype, I'll be one of those people. But so yeah, I that's really dope. And I didn't mean to go to the next slide. I apologize. My mouse is kind of
It's
funky.
cute. That was a cute slide.
So,
So
I didn't get a chance to. We didn't get a chance to touch on the last slide here, aside the ladies of hip hop. So I want to, before we go to the next slide, I did want to ask you ladies a couple of questions here. So, let's start off with you, Tiff. Look at you DJing, and that
with a bump.
belly, so cute. So we know that you're a mom. Tell
Happy
Mila I said
Mother's
what's
Day.
up. I met you actually, and if you guys don't know, I actually met Tiff at BJ iOS. So she was also one of the first students when we opened. She came to the school and was in our premium classes, and she would come with her family and her little daughter Mila, so cute. It's just awesome to see her go from mom of one and then now a mom of two. So Tiff, please tell us about these pictures here and give us a little bit more background. How is it DJing pregnant?
Well, so actually when I first had my first gig, my mentors gave me my first gig. I was opening up, and 4 weeks before that, I found out I was pregnant. So I was like, oh, lovely. Can't have that drink or that shot with anybody after. I mean, I could pretend, but I mean, it was one of those things that it never stopped me from doing anything that I wanted to do. I both pregnancies I DJed till I was 9 months pregnant. I've had crazy moments where, especially at Ladies of Hip Hop, oh my gosh, it gets so hot in there. And one year I was pregnant, and I was like, I can't, like, I had like paper, and I was like waving it at me, and like trying to see if someone can go buy a fan at Dwayne Reed real quick. And yeah, it was nuts. But my first daughter, while I was pregnant with my second, she actually came to, I always bring my kids to everything. If they're allowed to come, they're coming. And one of like the main times I was pregnant with my second daughter, my first daughter was watching me, and it was just one of those things, like, she already knew, like she was like a vet already. Like she was like getting like, putting her hands up, and like, and it was, oh my gosh, it's like crazy because she grew up, in my belly listening to music. And it's just so dope. Yeah, actually, so 2017, I worked my whole time, my whole pregnancy. I was like back to back. I was flying everywhere. I was trying to get it all in before I had my second daughter. I was in New York, Denver. Where else was I? I was at B Girl City. Yeah, it was just crazy. But it's one of those moments, like, I look back and I'm like, wow, like, it's crazy because, you hear of some people saying like, everybody has their own way and however they're going through pregnancy, and, it's all respected. But, like, I really pushed through those times.
I'm sure. I mean, even DJing already takes a toll on your body, right? Especially when it's long hours, your feet, you're sweating, like, and you already feel those with pregnancy alone, right? So when you feel it with DJing alone, so I can't even imagine when you put both of those together.
Yeah. One of my last gigs, I was 9 months pregnant. It was actually here at the Shortstop. It was for Rhythm Rug Party, and I was like ready. Like I think I had my daughter like a week and a half later, but that booth.
Oh, that booth is so tiny.
So I was like, excuse me. Like, they're like, are you gonna start like with your belly, like pushing the fader back and forth?
Yeah, I could do
Like
the
this
same.
booth is not gonna fit all of us and my baby. So
Right.
can you
Yeah. So it's
Aw.
funny to think back to those moments.
Yeah, but it's awesome too when you see your daughter actually take to what you've brought her around, and she's always gonna have those memories, and you don't know how she's gonna get impacted until
Right.
of course she gets older. So it's gonna be exciting to see what that's subliminally done for her, being around music and dancing and just the environment that you love. Man, I'm excited to see that. Not excited to get old, but I'm excited to see that. um, thanks, Tiff. So before I move on, man, Margie, please tell me, this is a photo of you. You're on a radio show, right?
Yeah.
And I believe
You
that
can
is
tell by
sold.
the hair. The hair is different. It's short. Different steez. I was fortunate to be a part of Soul Assassins team. Actually, I was their DJ from 2014 to 2016. And Soul Assassins Radio, for those that don't know, is DJ Muggs of Cypress Hill, his show on Shade 45, which is Eminem's station on Sirius XM. So I actually got that opportunity from DJ Eclipse. He's a fellow, I'm Rocksteady crew. He's also on Rocksteady. He was like, yo, they're looking for guest DJs. I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna introduce you to Ern, who's the producer of the show, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up doing a guest spot and they're interviewing me. It's cool, we're having fun. And specifically that platform is for underground hip hop. I'm saying artists that no one knows about yet. Like you're going through different podcasts and blogs and you're reading about these artists, you're listening to them as a DJ and you're picking whether or not, you're gonna play them or not. Or they're emailing you, all these artists are emailing you. Anyway, so from that guest spot, I finished, the show was over. They were like, Blaze, so next week, I'm thinking you could do this, you could talk more, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, next week. And then 2 years later, I was still there.
Oh man.
So that's how that started. Yeah.
So I know one thing that the girls love hearing are DJ stories. Now, being at Soul Assassins Radio, do you have any stories you can share with us? Some tea, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So many dope things that did happen. Besides being able to meet some of my favorite, like most famous, like MCs, especially from the 90s era, I've definitely was able to spin for them. And it's nerve-wracking to spin for an artist that you look up to and they're 2 feet away from you and they're listening on headphones. It's not like in an outdoor environment where sound could kind of get mixed in with people talking. It's like they're listening in headphones. So it's like ultra sensitive. So that was definitely an experience. But my departure from Soul Assassins really happened when later in 2016, when the show started taking a different direction because Dr. Dre was coming out with his One Radio and DJ Muggs was basically like, nah, we gotta change the whole branding for Soul Assassins Radio. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna hire the voiceover actor that does like the B movies from the 70s, and we're gonna do it very dark, like Soul Assassins, the brand. Little did I know that he wasn't gonna ask myself or the producer, who were basically the voice of the show for the past 2 years, because Muggs is so busy producing records that he barely, comes on the show. So once I heard, oh, sorry, I'm skipping a part. Where we used to film, where you kind of seen the photos, was at Backside Records, a record shop in Burbank. Unfortunately, because the rent went up so high, the owners couldn't afford it, so they sold. So we no longer had a place to record live where the fans could just come through, kick it with us, kick it with the artists, and see the show being recorded live. So once that was over, I was just forced to record from home, send my mix to the producer. He'll do the final edit. We send it to Sirius, boom, there's a show. So once we did the rebranding and I heard the show play on Sirius, the drops that they used were basically so X-rated. And just to give you an example of a drop, it was like, when your girl comes home and she gets that nut in her face. Like, I'm not even kidding you. When I say it was like just super X-rated, and I'm listening with my husband, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, literally, we were so floored. And because at least at the record shop, I was talking, I was interacting with the guest during the interview portion. You still heard my own personal drops. By the time with the new branding and the new drops, Kaotic Blaze was lost in the sauce. Like, all you know, it was somebody else spinning. So at that point, that's when I decided to kind of like keep my integrity and really part ways, you know, on a good tip, but at the same time, like, hey, I'm the only female here. I represent so many things outside of Soul Assassins, and I can't rock with the show that is putting that image for branding out there when I'm a part of it. So,
Been really
yeah.
hard. Well, girl, I'll feel you. The integrity is everything, because that statement, I'll be like, wait a minute. That's not gonna fly. Well, I mean, in terms of being on radio, I mean, that is an unfortunate story in terms of what you have to deal with in, you know, a boys club when you're the only woman. How did it help, like, what's the word I'm looking for, in terms of you as a DJ? What did it do in terms of your growth and you evolving? So you went from doing live gigs, and then now you're at Soul Assassins Radio, when, like you said, you're around people that you're like, oh my gosh, you're listening to my music, and they're like right there, and that type of thing. So what kind of impact did that have on you?
Definitely a different style, because a lot of, even today, a lot of the live events I do is usually music that I have a connection to. And not that underground hip hop, I didn't, but it was definitely a lot of research and prep every week. There wasn't really a break. Although the show was 2 hours, it took so much of my time to really go into these blogs and research these artists and actually interact with artists I really didn't know about, and building a relationship where they're emailing me stuff. Like, that was a different kind of format from what I was used to doing as far as record pools and just looking for different music. But this was like, we needed new hot shit that no one knew about yet. Like, as that's really what the DJ is doing. You're really introducing the masses to what they don't even know they like yet. So that pressure was definitely different from what I experienced just DJing 90s, 2000 circa era, hip hop, house, funk, soul. You
Wow.
know, so that was definitely an experience.
I can't even imagine the prep on that. Your email box must have been flooded. And then just
Yeah,
listening
I
and
felt like
going
a
through it.
woman. I was like, they're like, hey, Kaotic Blaze, it's so dope to meet you. Can you listen to my track? Can you play it, please? It got to a point where it's like really overwhelming, and then you get like trash music, and you're just like, shit, nah. But then when you introduce people to like hot music, then people are trusting in your judgment. And that's why I stayed there so long, because even though that wasn't something I did, my first time appearing on Soul Assassins, I basically smashed it, and they thought that's what I did anyway with that type of music. So then I was like, oh shit, I gotta do this every damn week now. Okay. let's let me get in and start digging and networking with people so that I stayed at that level and keep getting better each week. And then it got to the point where we would have guests come through, and I'm spinning Redman's music in front of Redman. Like that just was tripping me out. Like, I'm spinning for Warren G in front of Warren G. I'm spinning for the whole production team of Dr. Dre's last album, like right in front of my face. Like, that was definitely a really dope experience.
Yeah. Oh. And man, Backside too, I remember being there. I don't know if you know Christian, Chalk's son, Mr. Chalk's son, but he used to work at Backside. So
Yeah,
I used to go there all the time.
I used to get hooked up, and I used to get dope clothes from there, man. I miss that era. Like that 2 years was really, really fresh. It was really dope.
And definitely sounded
And
like kept you on your toes.
Yeah, kept me on my toes. And then coming from New York, they were like, "Who's this chick from New York? Like, this is like Soul Assassins. This is like LA shit. Who's this girl from New York?" And I can't hide my voice, you know what I'm saying? So Earn Dog is from LA. You hear the LA in his voice, and then you hear me like blah 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 blah, like talking. And then even with my selections, they could tell like I have a more New York. I guess I lean more towards like grimier sounds. But anyway, it was a dope time, dope learning experience.
Well, I think that's incredible that you were like repping. I mean, for me, I would be super nervous being around some like, real LA dudes, and then coming from the East Coast and then having to like play on top of that, it's underground. Oh man, girl. you that's a lot of pressure to deal with. But like the fact that you hung in there, you represented, and I mean, you were there for 2 years, and I mean, yeah, hats off to you. That's not easy at all.
Yeah, I think what it is too is having confidence in what you do, because they wouldn't have let me continue if by the first time I was there I didn't do my thing, or the second or the third or the fourth. They would have been cut off a long time ago, especially with Muggs, because Muggs is listening. So if for whatever reason he didn't like what I was doing or saying, he would have been like, all right, this girl's out. But I was there. So, and then even working with Be Real and being able to do Be Real TV 3 times and all that stuff like that, it's definitely a different realm to what I was used party rocking. Like that's what I'm used to, party rocking. Even to this day, I prefer to party rock. Like put me in a club where there's people that are vibing and dancing. That's where I shine. But that format, especially being more comfortable on the mic and interacting with guests, kind of led me to be more comfortable in hosting and doing things like meeting the ladies' room, because that in itself is a skill that if you're just focusing on the music, you're not going to develop.
Yeah, we talk about a lot on how emceeing and being comfortable on the mic is definitely something that's important to obviously not only host but just DJing, just feeling comfortable, like being on the mic, because you have to be to engage with the crowd, right? So it's really cool to hear about both of your guys' individual journeys as B-girls and DJs, even though you guys knew each other. But all your individual journeys, and then you guys finally just decided. So how did it get to the point where you're like, let's do things together, right? So I don't know, Marisol, if you have those photos, but you guys have DJ'd. Yeah. So you have DJ'd on like the same lineup before you even did Meeting in the Ladies' Room?
I think Ladies of Hip Hop was probably the only one. Tiff?
Yeah, Ladies of Hip Hop is where we started vibing out and DJing together, definitely. And then when I moved here, that was when we just got closer.
Yeah, there's those photos if you want to go to the
next slide. Can you see my screen? All right, yes, you can.
So, yeah, we did B-Boy B-Girl Summit last year. I'm like thinking of like all these.
Yeah, so that picture right there of me, I was pregnant. I feel like everything happened when I was pregnant, but yeah, that was B-Girl Summit. So that was the first one, and then we did the second one together last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's that picture on the bottom right? Where's that from?
That's Soul Assassins. Those are both Soul Assassins, actually. Let's Be Real on the bottom right one. Those are just different angles of Soul Assassins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And oh my gosh, the little feet, I love.
Yeah, that's so nice. Sometimes that's how practice looks.
Mm-hmm. Get the
they just want to be held on. Put baby in the pouch and let's go.
Yeah. So we have a couple more pictures of you guys. Oh, I love that that bottom right picture. These are great. Oh, look at you guys next to each other. So awesome.
Yeah, so that top left one is Ladies of Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom right is when we were both in New York for Ladies of Hip Hop, but we actually took our show on the road. That was the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we took it to New York. I have a friend who has a tattoo shop, so we invaded his tattoo shop, brought tables, and had our show there with Crazy Legs, actually.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Mind you, you see how high the turntables are?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I wonder if that's just how it was.
We had to stand on something.
Yeah,
it's so funny being a woman that's like short and you have to deal with shit like that. But I'm so grateful to her homeboy that has like gave us the space and all that. Actually, to bring it back, Crazy Legs he gave me my first mixer once I decided I was gonna go into DJing, because it was still like a thought. And I was like, yo, I don't know, because I moved from New York to Florida to finish college. Long story. But when I was about to leave New York, he was like, yo, I got something to give you. It was like a freaking super throwback 2-channel TiffStarr Rain mixer. And he was like, here. And I was like, oh. And that's how thanks to Legs. But yeah, he was our guest that day.
Oh, that's so dope.
So you guys, when did it get to the point where you're like, let's do this, let's start something for a meeting in the ladies' room?
So it was, I had the idea of starting, how do I say it? Like, what did I say? I had the idea, of starting the show, and just getting other women and their perspective on anything in the hip hop scene. I brought it up to Blaze and I was like, yo, like, how do you feel about this? Like, I was like proposing my thoughts to her, and she was right away, let's do this. Yeah. Let's do it.
So, well, we actually have a little
sorry, it just started playing when I went to the next slide. So
let's see, do you have the volume up on yours?
Is it oh, I don't know why it's not can you guys hear it? Because I can.
But we could sing it. Well, ladies' room.
That's dope. Dang.
So it actually took us like a year to like get everything put together with our logo and just like curating our show and how it's all gonna run and getting this promo like put together. I was just pregnant with my second daughter during that. And I was like, yo, Blaze, we need to get this done because I'm not trying to be like full on pregnant in this promo. So we made it happen. So yeah. And then we finally came out with it.
Definitely wanted to come correct too, because within our scene, our community, we see some people have these ideas that they put forward and they're not complete and they don't succeed, right? So we wanted to make sure we got the right collateral or assets to really move forward. At the time, the space in my apartment where I practice, I just had the turntables facing the freaking wall. Although I have all these like dope hip hop memorabilia, I didn't hang up anything yet. And I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity to like set up this space so we could have like an official like woman cave, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? And have people come through and like a space for us, a space for, not just Tiff and I, but our guests to come through and feel comfortable and kick it with us. We've had singers, we've had dancers, catch rec, and we just hope definitely, in the time to come, especially after this quarantine shit, that we could just continue and just have, dope shows.
Yeah, I love how it just really truly encompasses everything about hip hop and its elements. Even you guys have gotten graffiti writers that are women and things like that. So it's a really, really cool idea. I don't think I've ever seen women do that before, you know? And you forget that, of course, there's women in all different avenues of hip hop, and it's cool that you guys kind of bring them all in one space.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I love about your guys' show. You know, you guys aren't just, you know, one thing. You guys are really showing how diverse you can be, and also where your passions lie, and how broad they are. You know, from like, you know, I'm a B-girl, I'm a DJ, I'm a mom, I you know, I all these create, and also on top of your creative outlets. And even just the guests, like you said, like the guests on your show just speak volumes in terms of like the way you guys curate things and who you're bringing on and your personal relationships with them. I mean, even just to say, oh yeah, Crazy Legs was at, you know, this gig, and it's a friend, and you a mixer. I mean, it's so awesome because you guys are really intertwined and have, you know, it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna holler at this person. You actually have a backstory with them and have a genuine connection on top of that. Um,
We're,
so is
we're
this your
really
room?
fortunate. We're really fortunate that we just have dope friends.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, between Tiff and I, the years of friendship, and they've seen us be in this scene and put in the work as dancers, as DJs, making that transition. Like, real recognizes real, especially within this community. So it doesn't take much unless they're booked. If they're here in LA and we're reaching out, it's usually a yes.
Yeah.
You know, we give them drinks, snacks, you know, we're chilling. Like, there's nothing really outside of that. You know, we're not asking questions to make them feel uncomfortable. It's like a really organic space, and that's what we want to project to the audience who's able to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at your, this is your room, right? This is
Yeah, this is where I'm at now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of these pictures are like I heard nothing now.
I mean, honestly,
We're changing it up. We're gonna move from here because, you know, my baby that's coming will have this space. So, but the new space is bigger and it's gonna be even better. It's gonna be like a quarantine upgrade. It's gonna be fresh.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, if you guys can't tell, Margie's due when you're coming up soon. You don't even look pregnant. You look.
Oh, and this
Yeah. Margie's pregnant. She's expecting. Now they're gonna be two moms.
Baby.
Yeah,
Cute.
it's hard to get up now. Yeah.
Then you gotta have like meeting in the ladies' room with like the little ladies one day, right?
Yeah, we'll
Right?
do a show where like Mila and Monet, and I don't have a name for my baby girl yet, but all those girls they'll host it, they'll do a takeover. It'll be fresh.
Yep.
Oh, you're having a girl too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like
We
automatic.
already have
We
we're
have
done.
a little.
Next
We have a little ladies of sound, so we have like a little army of little girls, of little babies.
The next generation they're gonna put the smack down on everybody.
right?
That's what I predict. I'm saying it today, May 12th, 2020. Gonna go
Believe
down.
it. All right.
So we actually have like a little clip here. I can share it, Marisol. So I think I can get the sound on here. Let's see.
Yeah, for some reason it'll say like no on my thing, so I don't know why.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
You guys see this? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see.
I mean, honestly, I'm a mom by day and I'm a graffiti writer at night. Like, it doesn't stop. I've been putting in a lot of work for 16 years doing this. So, yeah, I mean, I just have to make time whenever the time permits. You know, I don't make excuses. I barely sleep. Like, I stay up late working. I wake up early to be a mom, you know, but if it wasn't for Autumn, I don't think I would have evolved into the artist and the person I am today.
Sure.
So yeah, it's all because of her, really. Oh, everybody! Ah.
So
About to say
it's really cool to see all those different kinds of people that you guys bring into your show, and get them kind of have an outlet, you know, to really talk about their life and how it is to be, a woman in hip hop and also a mom and all of that too, which is exactly what you guys are, right? So,
Right.
let's see.
Do you want to?
So, oh, I don't know if you want to do the rest. I just want to do that one because I had the sound on.
Oh, okay. So I will go next. So let me go ahead and share. Sorry, it's a lot of like so many windows open. You guys don't even know. All this
So
technology.
yeah, so you guys already have one coming up on the 19th. So that's next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Margie, please tell you guys. Please just tell us about this slide we're looking at right here.
So we got our next quarantine meeting. That's what we're calling it now. It's next Tuesday, May 19th. So we're just trying to figure out, it's a little different because we can't be together now. So when we both DJ in the beginning, and then we host a interview. So we have JK47. She actually represents Monster Energy drink. She's a B girl. She's so dope. I don't know if you want to add anything, Blaze.
She's just fire. She was actually the second woman to be sponsored by Monster, and she does like a lot of fitness stuff as well. But we always try to get women that are, doing multiple things in the scene that are competitive. She's super competitive now in the world stage. So yeah, that's JK47. She also plays like the ukulele.
Yeah, I see
like,
that.
she's
fire.
Oh, that's
multi-talented.
And that's next week, you said at 3 p.m. PST, I see.
Where's the easiest way we can watch it? And
so you follow, we're on Instagram, so follow _ meeting in the ladies room.
And it's always going to be on your live.
Yeah, it's on our live.
Awesome. And you guys can also check out all the previous ones as well, right? You guys have those?
We have clips of everything, like little things up, but yeah, you could check out like little snippets of previous shows.
If you go to our Facebook page, which is Meeting the Ladies Room 1, facebook.com/Meeting Ladies Room 1, we have all of our shows before our pre-quarantine available that are archived on Facebook. We're kind of currently working on because we do have all the archives, but wanting to develop a more proper YouTube channel so just people can go and see everything in its entirety, because we kind of know that people can't, be there all the time when it's live. So a proper way to see it after the fact.
Before live was a thing, we were already doing live.
Yeah.
Boom!
Right, girl. That's right, girl. Yeah, and the thing that I mean, it's not like it's not going to happen, but just so you guys know, we were talking to both Tiff and Margie prior to this, and hoping that we could do this like in person. But unfortunately it's not going to happen right now. But girls, we are definitely, when this all goes back to some sort of like, when I can be in the same room with y'all, we definitely, I would love to, for us to continue that conversation and do this where we can watch this live and do this interaction live with our community. That's what I'm really excited for. But yeah, don't forget to tune in to that, guys. So 3 p.m. IG live.
Actually, it's 5 p.m.
Oh, just kidding. 5 p.m. Don't listen to me. 5 p.m. IG live _ meeting at the ladies room. Don't forget to check that out. And then afterwards, come meet us here.
You also have Disco Wild Prego.
Yes. That's what I was reading. I was like, it says 3 p.m. PST. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, but tell us about that. That's your project that you're working on, right? Your Disco Wild Prego. Margie, please tell us about that.
That's basically my pivot during quarantine. Like a lot of times during this whole time, like if I have the urge to get on, I'll just go on live and do whatever and spin whatever I want to hear, honestly. But I kind of came to the realization, because the first couple weeks in my pregnancy was tough. I was basically singing to the toilet all the time, felt like shit, was in bed. But finally, once that passed, I definitely got the urge and energy to get behind my decks. So I was like, let me actually do something that's focused on women that are pregnant or expecting rather, and what they're going through. Because specifically in this time of quarantine and COVID-19 coronavirus, there's a lot of crazy stuff. And then we already have kind of like the worrisome part of like, okay, now we're pregnant, now we're part of that population that is considered high risk and all this stuff. So I kind of wanted to have a live stream where I'm playing music and I'm welcoming to talk other fellow friends of mine or just DJs or whomever, dancers that are going through the same thing. And it's funny that a whole bunch of us are pregnant right now. This is pretty crazy. But a whole bunch of us are pregnant right now. So it's kind of funny to like, rock a little bit and then have them join and then talk about their experiences so far, either being pregnant or just giving birth. Like one of the guests I had 2 weeks ago, she just gave birth like 2 weeks ago. And then like Juliet Mendoza, who we had on Mother's Day, that was the last show. She's expecting as well, and she's like 12 weeks. Oh, wow. So it's kind of funny to speak with other women that are within the same community that are also experiencing stuff, and to let people know that they're not alone, and that pregnancy isn't like a commercial where like a woman is running on the beach and she's just glowing and the wind is blowing through her hair. Like that's not realistic, and it's okay to talk and feel kind of confused on what's happening with your body, what changes are going on, and be okay with it. So that's Disco Wild Prego.
Yeah, that's it is funny actually. I do know I was telling Sam, like sometimes I'll be like on Instagram and I'll swipe up and I'm like, oh, pregnancy announcement. Like so many people are pregnant, but I'm glad that you're creating Disco Wild Prego to talk about these things, because like you said, it's a whole different world outside your house. And so now that you can't gather or talk to people in that way face to face, let's talk about the things that we need to talk about being pregnant together and getting through all of this. So that's so dope. So that's happening Thursday, May 14th,
this
3 p.m. Yeah. This Thursday.
Yeah.
Exciting. I'm gonna tell my girls about that.
Yay.
Yeah. So I do it weekly on Thursdays. The only reason why I did Mother's Day was because Mother's Day and I felt like it was fitting. But yeah, every Thursday on my IG Live, 3 to 4 Pacific time.
Yay. All right. I'll definitely spread the word about that. And also, you guys don't forget to follow Meeting at the Ladies Room to catch their next episode with JK47. So now, ladies, this is our Q&A portion of our community chat. If you guys have any questions for either Tiff or Margie, please let us know. Please let them know. Type it in the chat. Or actually, you know what? I like that we just have you go off mute and just talk to them directly yourself. That's probably a little bit better. So who does anyone have a question? Someone want to say something?
I know cool. We actually have Shar in here. I think Shar's the first time she's in here. Shar's one of our students, and she would come in with her kids in class all the time too. So hey, Shar, how are you? I don't know if you have a question, but I just wanted to say what's up to you because we saw you come in, and then I was like, oh, there's another.
Took me a minute, but I figured it out. Yeah, I'm here.
There's another.
I caught the tail end of the conversation.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
So somebody just had a baby?
No.
Is that what happened? So, no? Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Well, one had a baby, her second, and then how old is Monet now?
She's 18 months.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have one on the way.
Yeah. So Margie here, she's expecting. So it's a really cool little. It actually works out that this was the week of Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating DJ moms as well. So Shar also,
Yeah.
That's
hardworking
dope.
mom, always came to class with her boys waiting for her.
I
On the
think
And are amazing.
one question that I have, just like trying to get, because unexpected stuff happens all the time when you have kids. So like say you're in a flow, trying to get into your flow of just like focusing or trying to practice, and then something happens and you got to go deal with, I'm going to use kids specifically, but stuff comes up all the time. But because you have to deal with your kids, like how do you like deal with the situation and then get back mentally into your flow? Like what do you guys do? What are some things you guys do?
For me, I honestly, I practice with my headphones on. So there's like screaming and chaos going on around me. And I'm like, until I feel that tap, tap, tap. And then it's like, like you said, you have to stop and figure it out. But now I've kind of like trained myself to just, if it's something I need to get done, and that, if I'm practicing something that I want to master or whatever, I have to jump back into it, whether I'm in it or not. I'd rather have practice time than none.
Okay.
Has that
So you
happened?
like schedule your practice time, and then if you get interrupted, you just like
save it either for when they're in bed or
yeah.
It's tough. It's really tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's moments where we're tired, like just doing whatever we have to do, and then actually dealing with your kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and there are a lot to handle throughout the day. But to be honest, this may sound weird to everybody, but I just started drinking coffee because I'm trying to keep up with these girls. Trying to keep up with them, and that way, at night, sometimes it's, my volume, like for everybody to hear, is off, but I'm just in on my headphones, and that's the only way it's gonna happen,
Right.
Has that happened to you in the case where you'd have a gig or an event or anything that would be outside of the home, and then you would have to kind of like take care of something, come back, or not yet?
Yeah, no, thankfully not yet.
Okay.
Thankfully not yet. Yeah. So, I'm lucky. I have my husband who's super supportive in everything that I do. So, and I'm also very, very fortunate of my family. My family's here. They're far. I'm in LA. They're in Temecula. But if I was to call my mom right now, like, Mom, I need you, she's like, okay, I'm there. So I'm very, very fortunate for that. But, it's my responsibility too. So I don't take advantage of that,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
good question.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No? All right.
All right, we're gonna close the Q&A.
Thank you so much, ladies. I'm so glad we were able to get an inside scoop on, you guys as B-girls and DJs on your own, and then figuring out a way to come together. We love duos. Obviously, me and Maricela are duos, so we definitely get how great it is to be able to, share the work with someone else, share the achievements with someone else. When you go through all this hard work and all the planning and prepping and the back and forth text all the time, and then you finally have like one beautiful thing that you guys can call your own is really cool. So thank you guys so much for joining us today.
And please stay in touch with them, guys. Again, if you see on the bottom, that's their ats, personal, and of course their meeting in the ladies room. So again, @_meeting in the ladies room. And you guys said, I'm sorry, I didn't get the Facebook link. That's where you have some episodes you can watch. And you said that was facebook.com meeting in the ladies room 1.
Yes.
Dope. Please check that out, guys, and like the page. Go follow their personal accounts at Kaotic Blaze, and especially if you want to catch this Disco El Prego this Thursday. And then please follow Tiff at DJ TiffStarr at DJ TiffStarr. And that's a
I
2
go
bar.
live every once in a while too, but it's not like a scheduled day.
It's okay. We are here for it. Let us know so we can let our community know.
Yes.
And then, as you guys know, if you guys want some tunes to listen to, Quarantunes, please
Quarantine.
check out Ladies of Sound on Spotify. If you guys have a meeting in the ladies room one, let us know too. Share your playlists. We love playlists and would love to share that with everyone else. So please let us know. We have some couple of new ones. The Super Room is for the mamas, and Sam just put up this living room 2-step here. That's pretty fun. And then the Young Love is just like the newer R&B playlist. So if you guys want to check that out. And if you guys don't already know, we have homeroom twice a day now, exclusively on beatjunkies.tv. Get sharpen your skills, and now that it's on .tv, guys, we have a special that's going on. If you sign up for the record pool for a year, then you get .tv that comes with it for the entire year, and then that comes with obviously homeroom. And the guys are now going to go more in depth. They were just touching on scratching, trick mixing here and there, but the lessons are going to get really in depth. So if you guys aren't already on that, please join. And
You have to have an annual membership?
you can get a monthly on .tv.
I have a monthly, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, you got to take $35 from me every month. I know the deal.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, so do that homeroom. There. It's now you are grandfathered in, so it came with it.
So now you'll have that included.
Right.
So, real quick for our sisterhood spotlight, I know we're running a little bit out of time, but I nominated my friend Riza. She couldn't be in here today, but she is a designer and seamstress from San Diego. She makes her clothes by hand. It's really, really dope. And she always goes to our events. She's friends with me and all of my other DJ friends as well. So she's definitely in our world, our DJ world, but she just happens to be the one person in our group that just isn't DJing. She just makes clothes. What's dope about what she's done recently, she actually made and distributed over 2,600 masks for nurses. So she sent them out for free for frontliners, hospitals, and residents all over the US. So if you guys wanted to check out any of her work, she has some of these items for sale on her website, which you'll see over there. She's even done like Kyle Dion's album art for his custom jacket. So she's a really dope chick. She's really sweet. She's really supportive of the DJ community. Yeah, if you guys ever want to have something made, custom made for like, okay, maybe not now, but for a gig or for a show or anything like that, you definitely can hit her up. So I nominated her this week for our small business highlight. You guys can follow her at weeriza.co.
And speaking of sisterhood, we also like to support anybody that's doing anything aside obviously their small business, but this part's the live stream listens portion. So Tiff has something on SoundCloud called Live. Pictures that's so cute. Please look her up, DJ TiffStarr on SoundCloud. And you guys know
I was listening to it today while I was making this presentation.
Oh, thanks.
And yeah, please share this with us, guys, because honestly, we know where we are all at. So the more music, the better. If you guys have anything that you want to share with us, you could always let us know. And we'd love, again, to share that with the community. And again, sharing is caring. So please share the music. Speaking of which, you guys already know, so funny. We had Bella as our guest a couple of weeks back, and she was like joking with us. I just want to like DJ from my bed.
We made a joke. Yeah, we made a joke here on community chats about how she should just DJ from her bed.
Yeah, we're like,
and then she came out with this little series she's doing. I was like, well, look at that. So
yeah, literally DJing from her bed. It's like she's like in her bed, and then the controller is like right there. She's just like sitting Indian style, like crossing her legs. And I'm like, oh, she did it. That's so dope. So that's actually tonight at 8:30. And if you guys also caught that same episode, we actually had DJ Lonnie Love join us in the chat. But she has her own Twitch and she DJs on that pretty often. But what I love about what she's doing is she's also gonna do a plant chat. I'm a plant lady, been a plant lady for a while, and I have a lot of friends that are like, oh man, I want to have a plant in my house, but I don't want to kill it. So if you need advice, she's actually going to be talking about plants, as she's also
Look at that too.
long time plant lady. So yeah, check that out. I love all the content that everybody's putting out. I think that this is, even though it straight up sucks that we are not able to physically be around our friends and our family right now, but I do think that this is a very unique time for all of us, right? So to see what people are coming up with in terms of content and what they're producing, I think it's really exciting, because now I feel like it's giving everybody a chance to exercise their creativity in different ways and maybe do things that they've always wanted to do. So seeing things like this make me really excited, and then seeing what you guys come up with, especially in terms of like you guys already had such a creative show to begin with, and then just the other things that come out of that. Like I'm here for all of it. I think it's great. I think we all need to share and keep supporting each other. So anything you guys again want to send us our way, please let us know, because I want to tell everyone about it.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. And so in closing, you guys already know Alina loves this part. Sorry, Alina. So, speaking of support, if you guys want to support, please, we have a few of these. So in support of Women's Month, we put out this shirt dedicated to one of those songs that you love listening to, UNITY, and now it's gonna get stuck in my head, which is why I don't want to say it. But we have a few of those shirts left. We are we donated some of the proceeds to a scholarship fund, but I believe we are going to change it to something else, to where you guys can join online, but we'll let you guys know soon. So portion of the proceeds do go towards that. And if you guys love what we're doing, and please support, go to ladiesofsound.com/donate. We did this out of the goodness of our heart, just if you want to, whatever. But
you want. I added it. So
meeting the ladies room too. Y'all gotta get that cracking. Hit the donate button, because I would. Yeah. So, but
That shirt's
thanks.
fire. Love it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you all for, especially the ones who are here every single week with us. Really, thank you guys for taking the time out of your week every week to come and support us and listen to the girls that are that we're having as guests. So really, it really means so much. I'm gonna get emotional now.
Yeah, and I
have something real quick.
Yeah.
Every day, me and my husband, we go live on my live, and he's a NASM certified personal trainer. So we work out every day, and I curate the music for our workouts. So that's how I'm part of it. But yeah, join us.
That's right.
When do you guys do that, Tiff?
Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m.
Wow.
On your IG.
Yeah, my IG live.
Yes. Yes, because my friends are like, do you have any fun like workout stuff? So yes, please share all of it. So guys, follow at Kaotic Blaze, at at DJ TiffStarr with 2 R's, and then at _ meeting in the ladies room, because they're just doing a lot of different dope things. And again, I love it all. I think that this is what makes quarantine really special. But the workouts, I'm about to jump in that, girl. Yes, please, thank you. So
only for she's just gonna watch and wish that she could be active. I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch because Tiff is DJing. I'll listen for the music.
I'm not actually a DJ, and I'm just
you're curating. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually want to be part of it too.
No. Well, thank you guys so much. We're gonna have this entire session available on our YouTube. You guys can always check it out if you want to rewatch anything, or if you want to tell your friends or your other DJ friends about the session. You guys can just shoot it over to them. We'll also have this presentation if you want it, you can download it as well on our website. So remember that goes for all of our sessions, so you guys can rewatch any of the old ones as well if you wanted to. So
You guys are so professional.
thanks.
Yes, I love it.
Thank you guys
Thank
so much. We'll see you. So we're actually going to be diving. Sorry, real quick. When we did the session for how to make a mix and putting it out, we're going to be going more in depth on part 1, and we're looking at this Thursday. So we're going to put out a flyer. We'll send it out to you guys. But that's what we're looking at for this Thursday for that mix session. So, all right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Thank you for
guys.
having us.
Good one.
Appreciate it.
Good night, guys.
Tune into
night.
everybody's stuff, guys. Thanks for the support. We will see you over the internet soon.
Right, stay safe. Peace.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.